Welcome back to the San Siro. A roar of approval greets the announcement of the teams behind me. Milan, Lazio, the big game coming up. The eyes of Serie A are really focused on the San Siro today for this match, as indeed is proved by the Sunday morning papers. It's front page news on all of them. Here's Tudor Sport. Milan or not Milan, that is the headline there. Capello, that wily old dog, with some headlines in the Corriere dello Sport, winding up the opposition saying, Lazio, your attack is a bluff. Well, we'll soon see about that. And just let me rescue the Gazzetta here, because Signori's giving as good as he gets on the cover of this one. Signori says to the old codgers, out of the way, mate, we are the future. Slightly loose translation there. Well, I don't know, Don, talk is cheap, or so I thought until I saw your contract anyway. What do you think? Can I press you for a prediction today? Who is going to come out on top?
It's going to be tight, obviously. But Milan have got something to prove, and I think they'll work hard today. It's going to be close, either 1-0 to Milan or 2-1 to Milan.
Good to see that Signori, despite an injury problem midweek, is going to be, I think, in the squad. Lentini as well, getting his first start of the season.
Yeah, he hasn't really been a success here in Milan, has he? You know, £12 million worth of player, and he really didn't settle down. He plays on that left wing, but he keeps coming back on his right foot. And then he had that nasty car accident. Let's hope this season he gets it together.
Okay. Well, we'll get official confirmation now on who is and isn't in that Milan side, which is a bit beefed up after the emergency midweek at Ajax. Let's go across now to our commentators. Ray Wilkinson first, Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a fixture that begs the question then, are we at last about to see a change in the balance of power at the top echelons of Italian football? Milan, champions for the past 3 seasons, have started unconvincingly, beaten by Ajax in midweek in Europe as well. In contrast, Lazio, under the refreshing enterprise of their new coach, Zeman, have opened with a flourish that does suggest, even without Paul Gascoigne, they're in for an exciting and perhaps highly productive season. It's never wise to write off Milan, of course, and in fairness to coach Fabio Capello, his early plans have been severely disrupted by injuries and suspensions. Albertini is back today after his European ban in midweek, so is Tassotti, and Christian Panucci comes into the back line for the injured Costa Curta. Ruud Gullit partners Savicevic up front with Lentini out wide. Well, there's certainly an abundance of firepower in this Lazio side. 2 brilliant strikers, of course, in Signori and Alan Boksic. Rambaldi, the new man from Atalanta, will hope to service them from the flank, with midfield support from Vinter, Venturin and Di Matteo. Jose Chamot is the one newcomer at the back this season. The Argentine international has followed coach Zeman from Foggia, but Lazio today are without their injured sweeper, Crivero. Milan were a little lucky to avoid defeat at Cagliari last Sunday and were clearly no match for Ajax once they'd gone behind in Wednesday's European tie. But of course, they've been so strong at home in recent times and will be anxious to reassure their supporters that early season setbacks are no more than a blip before their customary assault on the major honours. 2 captains, Baresi of Milan and Signori, who's taken over the captain's armband from Crivero, that even before Crivero's injury. Signori, of course, linking up with his old coach Zeman from their Foggia days together. Alongside me in the commentary box today, Hopalong Wilkins, his foot injury on the mend, and I'm sure the old football brain in good working order. What about this one today then, Ray?
Yes, good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. I think we're in for a real humdinger. First and foremost, I think the 3 points for a win has made an enormous, or will make an enormous thing on the Italian football. Teams are going to have to go out and win games, and that's vitally important. Milan already 2 points off the lead. Lazio in that group with 6 points from 2 games, and they can't let them get any further away. This really hasn't been a very good fixture for Lazio in the last couple of years, taking some heavy poundings. But they do look a very enterprising outfit, and they seem to come here today to Milan full of high hopes of doing exceptionally well. But as Don quite rightly said in the preview to the game, Milan have been stung, and when Milan are stung, someone normally takes a bit of a battering, and let's hope today we see an exceptional performance from Milan, because once they display this array of talent and they start to perform, there's no finer sight in world football.
Lazio then kicking off, attacking from right to left, their blue tops, white shorts. And they will certainly see this as a great chance to underline their own credentials today. If their coach is true to form, his strategy will involve seeking victory rather than just the draw that most teams would readily settle for here. Certainly in favour of 3 points for a win. Zeman, his reaction to the change, why not make it 4? Away by Maldini. This is Albertini, who was certainly missed by Milan in midweek. took something of a pounding in the second half from Ajax. Forward then by Hullet. Off goes Savicevic. And it's Negro with a back pass that very nearly embarrassed his goalkeeper there, Luca Marchigiani.
Absolutely, Peter. Not the best pass to give a goalkeeper his first touch. Marchigiani, in actual fact, started to encroach just a little bit too far onto Negro. He should have kept his distance and allow that little error that was, as we later saw.
Albertini. Challenged by Di Matteo, who had an excellent first season for Lazio. Off goes Hullet with Chamot, and that's a foul by the Dutchman.
That was a good battle, Peter, wasn't it? The ball hit through. There's not often that you see the big man, Hullet, beaten for pace, but Chamot was very strong. And there we see a little tug on the shirt and rolled Chamot to the floor.
I think he's going to be a good signing by Lazio. Chamot came into the Argentine side, the international team, last season. Of course, featured in the World Cup finals.
He's gone straight away onto Hullet, actually, but there's a little match-up already in the game. Chamot's going to pick Hullet up all afternoon.
Here's Baresi. Di Matteo. Now Bacci, who's come in for Crivero. Forward by Negro. Here's Tassotti. Off goes Hullet again. Released by Chamot. Hullet, who has already scored this season for Milan, and of course achieved his best ever tally last season in Serie A, 15 for Sampdoria. Now back to the club with whom he had 6 triumphant years before his switch to the Genoa-based club. Negro. Di Matteo. In by Favali. Towards Boksic. Savicevic. Now Donadoni. And Hullet had just straight offside. Today's referee, Pierluigi Pareto. One of Italy's 2 representatives at the World Cup finals. They were the only nation to have 2 there. And he is regarded as one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced, in Serie A. Bacci taking the throw then for Lazio. Towards Signori! Rossi made a tremendous shot then. Signori to the side netting now. We saw there the sharpness of Signori in the 18-yard box.
Quite right, Peter. Yeah, it wasn't very good defending by the Milan defenders, Baresi and Maldini. As the ball comes in, it's Tassotti in actual fact. He gets in between Maldini and Tassotti. And he's a little bit greedy here. This was, he did ever so well initially, but this was poor stuff. He's never going to get the ball past Rossi at the near post.
Well, somehow Rossi managed to claw away the initial effort then from Signori.
I think it's pretty evident, Peter, Lazio haven't come to Milan to be overawed. They're actually taking the game to Milan, and that augurs for an excellent match.
Here's Winter now, the Dutch international. Signori taking over. A real zest about Signori's play so far this season. And beaten away then by Rossi. Rambaldi, I think it was, with a shot. Indeed it was. And Rossi again getting across well to make the save. Rambaldi, the new man from Atalanta.
It was a nice little pass from Signori into Rambaldi, who come off the line, and Panucci didn't come with him. He got himself turned, and there's the big man Rossi, pulled off an excellent save. But a very good start.
Rambaldi with the corner. Only partially away. Favali with a shot through. Here's Signori. Well, maybe on his weaker foot. I think there were a couple of defenders there to deter him anyway. But already he's looking so elusive.
Yeah, quickly he reacts, Peter. Very, very sharp. He looks really on top of his game. It's a shame that it wasn't on his left side. His right foot really is a little bit of a swinger. Had it been on his left foot, we could have seen a better end product.
A really positive opening here by Lazio. Bullet failing to make contact, in goes Chamot.
Forward by initially Bacci. There's Baresi now to sweep it off towards Bullet. No foul by Faboli. Victor, so consistent for Lazio over the past couple of seasons. Didn't miss a single game with the last campaign. Certainly he pepped up the Dutch team too when he was finally introduced in the World Cup finals. Chamot, Victor, good turn by him. De Matteo now. Lazio come out in determined and purposeful fashion. And Rossi could easily have conceded a goal in that early phase. Fabio Capello, who proclaimed himself not to be too disappointed by the defeat at Ajax in the week. But nonetheless, the season really hasn't got off the ground for them so far.
It has to be said, Pete, it was a defeat as well, wasn't it? We were very fortunate to see the majority of the game, and in the second half especially, Ajax totally outplayed them.
Ruud Gullit, who faced a really hostile reception in Amsterdam on his return to Holland. Clearly offside there. Play on, says the referee, with Baresi in possession. Signori down injured after he crashed there with Maldini. Anxious faces on the Lazio bench. That's the coach, Seban.
Didn't look too much of a challenge, Peter, did it? The ball just coming into him, and he may have twisted his eyes. Actually got a little whack in the face of it.
He was carrying an injury from earlier in the week, Signori. There had been a slight doubt about him playing today. This is a fresh injury, quite clearly. Signori, the leading goal scorer in Italian football for the past 2 seasons, and already with 3 to his name in Serie A this term.
Well, we don't want to see him go, Fred. He's looking very sharp, isn't he? We need players like him on the field to perform, and I think Signori started the afternoon in fine fashion.
Well, obviously he's going off to receive some attention, but hopefully not too serious. But for the moment, Lazio down to 10 men and without their captain. Really is potentially a lethal combination, Signori and Boksic up front for Lazio. And of course they have Casiraghi in reserve as well, the first choice for the Italian national team. He's only on the bench. Bullets header. Down for Savicevic to Sotti. Play on. It's a chance for Albertini. And he's wasted it. Lazio then appealing in vain for offside. The linesman's flag stayed down.
Yes, he did look a little bit offside, I thought, Peter. It was a good run from Albertini to get into that position. Lovely ball from Sassotti, and a bit of a rash old finish on the volley from Albertini.
Signori back on the field now. Here's Bullet. Showing good determination. I think he's won the free kick there.
Still so passionate about his football, Ruud Gullit. Now 32 years old. He still retains his thirst, his appetite for further success. He's a man who's done so much to promote attacking football. Certainly from his previous club, Foggia. Here's Bobat now with the free kick. And it came off Panucci.
It was a great ball in from Boban. It was, I think, Maldini breaking through the middle of the box, unmarked. Had it been slightly lower, I think Maldini would have had a free header, but it was an excellent area in which to put the free kick.
10 minutes gone. Certainly chances early on for Lazio, and now a couple for Milan as well. The early signs are promising. Maldini, who came across then. Doesn't really matter to him where he plays in the back line. He's so adaptable. He was played in the centre of the back four for the Italian team during the World Cup finals and indeed in the final itself.
And he was magnificent, Peter, wasn't he? He had a fantastic World Cup, Maldini. as you quite rightly say, he can play anywhere, centre forward, anywhere. His feet are that of a centre forward, and he really is an excellent player.
That came off Savicevic. Favali taking the throw then for Lazio. Who finished joint 4th last season. Away by Baresi. His father was Di Matteo. On then by Signori. Rambaldi in pursuit. Coolly away by Baresi. Donadoni. Almost thinking with Boban. Good anticipation though by Negro. Now he's given it away. Donadoni again. Spotting the run of Hullet. There his strength and evidence again as he held off the challenge. I think when his wires crossed.
Yes, he did ever so well. Made a lovely run into the corner, received the ball from Donadoni, and then the little back heel wasn't the best pass he'll make this afternoon.
Bonucci to Savicevic. Chamot reading the situation so well. Now Maldini. Certainly the game being played at a fair old pace so far. Here's Albertini. Rolled on to Savicevic. Lentini is onside. Lentini with the shot. Down goes Marcagiani.
Yes, a good run from Lentini. It's pretty evident, as Don picked up before the game in the preview. He normally plays on the left-hand side of the field, coming in on his right foot all the time. This is a much more natural position for Lentini to play wide on the right side, because he doesn't have to slow down and make sure he gets the delivery in. The delivery will come in because it's his favourite foot. Good to see him back as well after all the problems that he's had, poor chap.
Savicevic taking the corner. First start for Lentini this season. Panucci with the bar again. That's twice he's been on the end of crosses, so there's another string to Milan's bow. Yep, Panucci, who won his first cap recently for the senior Italian side, showing he's no slouch on set pieces either.
No, he's a very good header of the ball, Peter. They send him up all the time, and the warning signs are out for Lazio. That's the second free kick, the second ball into the box in succession that Milan have got a little bit of joy out of, and defensively Lazio really aren't doing the marking job too clever.
Foul on Boban. Meanwhile, there have been goals elsewhere already. Let's tell you about those. Goal for Fiorentina, and that's from Carlisciali at home to Cremonese. Fiorentina 1, Cremonese 0. And Abel Balbo has scored for Roma at home to Genoa. Roma 1, Genoa 0. There's Hullet, combining with Savicevic. It's Signori now on the break for Lazio. Certainly need to improve their away form this season if they are to challenge for the title. They've opened this game briskly enough. On by Baresi. Donadoni. Good movement being shown by Milan so far. Nice tackle then by the referee.
Yeah, excellent tackle, Peter, wasn't it? A lovely turn from Savicevic here. Look, in between two players, just toes it away. And quite rightly, it was a free kick, but poor positioning by the referee, it has to be said.
Certainly couldn't get out of the way in time. Baresi. Hullet inevitably is the target here. So strong in the air, of course, with Hullet. Although surprisingly, of his 15 goals last season, only 2 came from headers. Similar sort of record to yours, Ray, I would think. Rambaldi now.
I don't think so, Peter.
It's Winter offside.
I like seeing him play up the front as well, down the middle of the pitch. He can go either side. Then he went through a little spell, Hullet, where he was playing wide on the right side. But I must say my preference is to see him in the box on the end of things. He really is an exciting guy.
He had a much freer role with Sampdoria last season under Eriksson, the coach there. And I'm sure he laid down certain restrictions for this season, certain demands on his part before he would agree to return to Milan. So often they did indeed play him wide on the right, and he was far from happy with that. Now this is Boksic. Signori in the middle. Away by Maldini. In goes Winter. Signori again. That's a trip by Albertini. Signori, who scored an incredible 52 goals in 58 games for Lazio. Winter alongside Signori now. Some organising for Rossi to do. Here is Signori. Away by Tassotti. Too long though for Hullet. Chamot is there. Status from Negro. Now will they be punished here? Donadoni.
Good defending by Chamot. He's very, very fast. Donadoni had the run on him, but he got back, never committed himself, just stood up and made Donadoni make the mistake. Excellent defending.
Donadoni, who hasn't scored a league goal for 18 months now, of course has contributed so much in other ways.
I think if anything, Pete, dare I say, it's a bit of a nervy start by Milan. They've given a hell of a lot of balls away. They are really trying to release Hullet as soon as possible with the ball from back to front. And on a number of occasions, they've given it away quite carelessly.
Certainly they've had a problem or two to deal with from Lazio. In goes Rambaudi. Here's Boban. Now Panucci. Another very versatile player, Panucci. He seems to be quite happy to occupy any number of roles. The latest one, the left-back position for Milan, as indeed he occupied for the Italian national team the other week. That's Venturin, the new man from Torino. And he was outstanding for them in the past two campaigns. Free kick taken by Bacci. Maldini. Here's Favalli. Held it on Lentini. Favalli, who was sent off on the opening day of the season against Bari and has just come back from suspension. Tassotti, former Lazio player, began his career with them. That was a very rugged challenge on Signori.
Well, I think in wrestling they call that the clothesline, don't they, Peter? My goodness, that was an awful tackle from Tassotti. Signori had done ever so well, just mix it. I think it goes just past his right neck, and there it is. The old stiff arm across the chest.
Tassotti, of course, the man who was sent off for the Italians in the match against Spain in the World Cup finals, and received an 8-match ban, which he's still serving.
And I think that will end his international career as well, Peter. In those 8 games, I'm sure someone, the likes of Panucci, will come in and just take Tassotti's place.
And as you were saying, Ray, for Capello's team, a bit of a nervy start so far. On by Tassotti now. They're obviously very worried by the likes of Signori and Boksic. Di Matteo now to thread it on. Here is Boksic, who has terrific pace, but he's put too much pace on the pass there to Favalli. Tassotti now 32, and in his 15th season with Milan, Baresi is starting his 18th. There's a man down on the bench. We'll get through a few cigarettes this afternoon. As of course his predecessor, Dino Zoff, who is still with the club. Play by Baresi. Well, let's get the early thoughts now of Don Howe. It's been a bright opening by Lazio, Don.
Yes, very good. And there's a terrific lot of movement up front. What happens is that it's Boksic moving out with the 2 wingers, Signori and Rambaudi. For instance, if he comes down the right, Rambaudi and Boksic cross over. If he goes down the left, Signori and Boksic cross over. So they are getting a lot of movement. The only thing about Lazio, they're trying to play offside at the back, and I don't think they've got it right. They've got away with one little mishap, and I'm just a bit concerned about that. For Milan, well, like Ray said, Lentini has come and played out on this right wing, and I think that will get the best out of him. He's back on his best foot, where he can operate and get his crosses in.
Next on, we'll hear from you a little later on. And we'll see indeed if Lazio's offside trap is sprung by Milan. Rossi, a couple of very important saves from him early on. A man who conceded only 11 goals in Serie A last season. Bullet chasing this one with Chamot. And it is indeed going to be quite a tussle between these two very strong players.
Yeah, that should be a good encounter. It's there we see it there, two strong guys, and not often you see Hulit bundled off the ball. Chamot must be a tough guy. But going back to the offside, if you're going to play offside against a side like Milan, you do have to be so careful, because they have immensely intelligent footballers, and sooner or later they will spring that offside trap.
Kept in by Lentini, who has had such a long and arduous fight back from serious injury. Here's Boksic. Boksic onto the return pass. Could be danger here. Well-timed tackle, though, by Maldini. My word, that was perfectly executed.
I happen to think Maldini is a better centre-half than he is at full-back, Peter. He's a world-class full-back, but when he plays centre-half, he really is an exceptional player, and that was a marvellous piece of covering. We saw Boksic out-sprint Baresi, and it was a marvellous tackle from Maldini. The ball was in the box. He had to make sure that he played the ball, otherwise it was a penalty. A really first-class piece of defending.
I expect to be a useful striker as well. He's got everything, hasn't he?
Absolutely
Really
has.
Here he is now, Paolo Maldini. 10 years, the first-team player at Milan, and he's only 26. Already with around 250 Serie A appearances behind him.
Yes, I think we're very fortunate to have seen the majority of Paolo's career up to date, and I think we are witnessing one of the truly world-class footballers' career.
Mistake there by Lentini, which almost left Tassotti in trouble. Albertini to tidy up, away then by Maldini, but only as far as Di Matteo. Meantime, there's been another goal scored in Serie A this afternoon, and we shall of course keep you up to date with all the scores as we receive them. And it's all happening in Florence. Tentoni has equalised for Cremonese, so it's Fiorentina 1, Cremonese 1. And in fact, it's 2-1 now to Fiorentina. Batistuta. Meantime, here's Di Matteo.
A good effort from Di Matteo. It was a nice save from Rossi. He got out a good distance from his goal line, narrowed the angle down, and he's ever such a big chap, and it was going to be difficult for Di Matteo to score from there, but nonetheless it was a super shot.
Well, he has certainly been the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. Rambaudi now with the corner then for Lazio. It should be the keepers, well held by the giant figure of Rossi, who somewhat surprisingly has been completely overlooked by Arrigo Sacchi in terms of playing for the national team. Sacchi, of course, the former coach of Milan and also of Cesena, Rossi's previous club, so he knows all about him, but so far he has ignored him. And of course, Marcos Gianni at the other end is the number 2 to Pagliuca.
He's been extremely consistent, though, Peter, hasn't he? Like, we don't often see him make a blunder.
Here's Savicevic. Winter, though, able to bring it away. Well, it's good. His record speaks for itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's no question. You don't often see him make massive great blunders. His concentration's excellent, because more often than not Milan have the ball, so therefore you don't have too many shots at him, but he really does perform very well.
Now Hulit. No way past Favali and Di Matteo, who does a good tidy job for Lazio in the anchor role in midfield. Savicevic, the Montenegrin, will take the corner. Hoping to stretch Marcos Gianni and co. Here's Tassotti. Defender streaming out. No offside though. Winter has to clear. Brave header by Albertini. The foot was certainly high.
Yes, I think that foot was higher, Peter, but he did dip, just dipped his forehead down all it, but he took his teeth out there, Rambaudi. This is a dangerous position. Boban would like to have a little pop from here, I would have thought.
Boban often very inventive from free kicks. Albertini is there as well. He possesses a pretty fierce shot. But Boban organising this one. Panucci has gone forward. Maldini as well. Boban, short to Albertini. Off the bar. What a shot then by Albertini. Albertini. And what an escape for Lazio. I don't think Marchigiani could even have seen it. It was moving so fast.
Yes, that really was a great shot, Peter, wasn't it? I thought they were going to try and put Maldini. He looked to have gone in the box unmarked, and it was just a little ball to the side and a great strike.
Again, Lazio playing a dangerous game here. They wanted the offside and didn't get it. No way through for Donadoni. Well, that was a thunderous effort by Albertini. My word, that was travelling.
Well, that was a super shot, Peter, wasn't it? That would have been...
Bonucci now to pull it back. Savicevic was lurking in there. Up goes Donadoni.
Yeah, I was just about to say that would have been a marvellous goal to open the scoring of any match, and it really was an excellent strike from that team. Perhaps that will settle Milan down a little bit. They've been rather edgy, and I think up to now we'd have to give it to Lazio on points, I would have thought.
Vetturin. Intercepted though by Donadoni. Again, the referee was in the way. That's twice that's happened now, and it's Signori. And for once, his finishing let him down. He'll be very disappointed there, Signori, but at the very least, he didn't strike the target.
No, that's right, Peter, and he will be absolutely very angry with himself, because it's on his left foot, and with that left foot, he can open a tin of peas with that left foot, and he didn't even hit the target. It was a little bit off balance as he went to hit it. But once again, the referee, the position of the referee not too clever again, which gave Signori the opportunity.
Yes, I don't think he would have been too popular if that had led to a goal. Certainly not among the Milan fans. Jamont with a header, picked up here by Albertini. On then by Tassotti. Here's Victor. Finding Boksic. Good work then by the Croatian Boksic. Back in for Di Matteo from Bacci, who just took a little knock then. She's now feeling rather ruefully. Here's Signori. Negro. On by Rambaldi. Boksic. Good strike. Again, Rossi in exactly the right place. Just narrow the angle.
Looking very lively up front. Boksic is making some good runs there. Gets himself in well here. Just playing on the shoulder of Maldini. Maldini lets him get the run on him, and good shot, hits the target. But once again, the big man was more than equal to it.
Hoisted forward by Maldini to Hullet. Now Savicevic. Hullet continuing his run. Marchigiani is there.
Excellent goalkeeper from Marchigiani, reading the situation very well.
Marchigiani playing his 150th game in Serie A today. Savicevic. On for Hullet. They get a second chance here. Again, Lazio a little sloppy at the back. And they were in danger of being punished again.
I think you'll actually see he plays the ball here, Peter, I think, as he gets it away. Yeah, he does, but it is obviously high on Hullet's chest. But just before that, Hullet had done exactly the same, flicking it over the top of somebody. His leg was rather high.
And while Hullet is receiving attention, and indeed may have to be stretched off, it's time to tell you that Parma have taken the lead at home to Cagliari, and it's the first goal for the club with their new signing Dino Baggio, the Italian international. Yeah, just got a foot in the chest then, Ruud Hullet. And that's the ruling now. If you want to receive treatment, you have to go off the field. And with half an hour gone, well, we haven't had a goal, but we certainly could easily have had one at either end, really. The bar coming to the rescue of Lazio with Albertini's free kick. At least the shot from the free kick. And certainly a whole series of chances for Lazio at the other end. Rossi in defiant form in goal for Milan.
Dangerous position here, Peter. Savicevic fancies this one, I think.
Touched off by Donadoni. Savicevic. And it spins away for the corner. Savicevic, who didn't score in Serie A at all last season, but certainly his game improved vastly, and when he was fit he became an automatic selection. Milan's third corner taken by Savicevic. Gullit.
He made up for it in that European Cup final though, Peter, didn't he? He's got a wonderful goal.
Of course, the display from Milan was truly memorable. They overcame Barcelona by 4-0. And we're hoping this season to see that kind of enterprise in Serie A. Milan chasing their 4th successive Scudetto this season. Lentini with the throw, Savicevic. And not the best of service sent from Lentini, who feels he's coming back to something like his best form after that car accident. He missed so much of last season, of course, but in pre-season felt he was beginning to produce the right kind of form again. In time, there's pressure on the Milan defence. Boksic proving a real menace up front for Lazio alongside Signori. Now Savicevic. Lentini, bullet in the middle. Lentini again. Off goes Donadoni. Rapbaldi back covering. Lovely skill by Donadoni. Panucci. Lentini in towards Willis. It was well guarded by Chamot. Chamot, who played left back last week but has the role of looking after Gullit today.
And doing it very well, Peter. We haven't really seen too much of Gullit. He's been making some good runs, but we haven't really seen his strength on the ball. Chamot seems to be more than his equal.
Winter, little tug on the shirt then by Albertini. He's got away with. Lentini now. Tassoti's gone bursting down the right outside him. Here's Tassotti now. On for Lentini. Savicevic waiting in the middle, but the delivery not good enough.
But they're very static in the middle as well. Lentini did have time to pick them out, Peter, but both guys were very static. I'm sure if one of them would have made a run to that near post, then they may well have got on the end of that.
Signori, lovely little reverse pass set from Signori.
Wasn't it a wonderful pass, Peter? Coming inside on his left foot and then cutting it back across himself. A really good ball. Lazio have really put up a very, very good show this afternoon. They've really taken the game to Milan and made it very tough for the league champions. I'm sure Capello won't be 100% satisfied with the way Milan have played. It's been very, very nervy. I'm sure he'll have a few words for them at half-time, and hopefully we'll see a different Milan come out in the second half.
Gullit again wins it in the air, but to no avail. Throw taken by Panucci,
who doesn't appear to have too many problems switching from right back to left, as he's got a nice left foot. No problem for Panucci.
And he's operating in midfield as well. So maybe they're still trying to establish what his best position is. But no doubt about it, he is an outstanding prospect, Christian Panucci. Up goes Albertini again, very decisively. Flags up though.
I think it must be for the foul, Peter. I don't think it was offside.
Would have thought so. Here's Bacci now. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Carelessly given away then by Bacci. Now the flag is up for offside. Savicevic and Gullit
could be in trouble as well, Peter, booting the ball away. Yeah, the referee not taking too kind to that. Just a couple of seconds ago, they appeared to be having words, Gullit and Savicevic. Milan do appear to be playing a little bit Route 1-ish, hoofing the ball forward for Gullit all the time. And that was a close decision, wasn't it? Just offside. And I think Savicevic wants the ball slightly into feet more.
Here's Signori. Di Matteo. Baldi on for Boksic. There's no offside here. In for Signori, and Victor was there as well. Milan indignant there was no offside flag. Rossi absolutely furious, shouting at the linesman, but he kept his flag down. And Boksic very nearly capitalised on it. Good awareness shown by the Croatian Boksic.
It's as I was saying at the other end, Peter, Milan have got intelligent players, and Boksic is very intelligent. It's a dicey old game to play.
Savicevic now, threatening on the break. Chamont in with the tackle. And that was a pretty crucial one too. Savicevic, whose close control is so exciting. Did take his time to settle, as I was saying earlier, at Milan, but very much now a first choice in the team. Lentini on the near post. Donadoni will take the corner. Tassotti. Now the counter-attack is on here for Lazio. One by Venturin. And into the path almost of Boksic. I think this time the flag was up.
Yes, offside given there, Peter, but that really was a perfectly timed pass, the ball being pushed past Franco Baresi. Yeah, just offside there in the middle of the goals.
But Rossi is not too happy with his team's defending. Zeman has promised an adventurous approach from Lazio this season, and they've certainly been true to his word so far.
They've looked good, Peter, haven't they? They've not an easy place to go and play against the league champions, but Lazio have played very well indeed.
Di Matteo. Signori. This is Lentini on the charge now. Savicevic. Went for too much time. That was a foul surely then on Di Matteo. The young man that Lazio signed from Aral, the former champions of Switzerland at the start of last season. And he's slotted in very comfortably alongside the likes of Winter here. Winter, who very rarely plays a bad game. Chamont. Strong and sturdy at the back for Lazio. They might get extended again now. Boban, he's picked out Hullit. Savicevic is pulled into the middle, still Hullit. Delightful skill by him. Albertini. And he wanted Boban to run through onto that one, but maybe asking too much of him.
Yes, I think just a little bit too much there, Peter. Boban had actually pulled off and gave him a nice little angle to roll the ball into him, so he'd be a little bit disappointed that he didn't get that one. But a great run again from Hullit there, pulling off the shoulder of Negro, giving his defenders a perfect target to aim for.
Capello's team looking a little vulnerable at the back, but they have been extended by Signori and company. That's a free kick for the foul on Signori. Actually Panucci who caught him before Baresi could.
Yes, yes. I think Baresi was just winding himself up to make a challenge. What sort of challenge that would have been, no one knows.
As we've seen before many times, Baresi is a great defender, but if he is threatened, he resorts to any tactics to pull back a player. Signori with the free kick. A lot of movement in the box, but nothing to trouble Sebastiano Rossi. We're now into the last 5 minutes of a first half that could easily have produced a goal or two, but so far hasn't done so. Tassotti. Donadoni. Now, what can Boban do here? Easily away from Bacci. Lentini. Savicevic. No, Chamont with the foot in. There's Albertini. Now Donadoni. Tassotti. Free-header to Chamont. Only as far as Lentini. I think he might have just taken a nick on the way. Lentini, who feels he needs to play regularly now to regain his sharpness, and that's fair enough. Didn't get many opportunities last season, even when he was back in the reckoning. He's never quite lived up to the billing, though, Ray, has he?
No, he hasn't. I think £12 million was an awful lot of money to pay for him, and I actually thought Fruzer looked a better player who went to Lazio in the deal. And I thought he looked a better player than Lentini.
Boxic now. Well-tight tackle, though, by Baresi. Goes Maldini. Now Donadoni. Savicevic crawling ahead of him. And well read by Negro. Venturin. Boxic, clattered by Baresi.
We do talk about forward players a lot, Peter, obviously, because they're far more exciting, but we've got to say Negro and Chamot at the back for Lazio have had very good games.
This is Favalli. Now Vinter. Tassotti was protesting there. Play on, says the referee, and off goes Lentini. Signori is ever working so hard for Lazio. Vinter. Here's Di Matteo, wrestled back by Boban. The referee unable to play the advantage. He's already blown the whistle there.
There's a lot of that creeping into Milan's play. I think it's a bit of frustration, a lot of silly little fouls like that just gave away there.
Boxic, determination was not enough. Away by Rossi, rather cheekily to Lentini, now Albertini. On for Hullet. Roving pass by Hullet, he's found Savicevic. Now Hullet! Lentini! No! Oh, what an escape for Lazio.
Wonderful play from Savicevic. He set off on a magnificent run down the left-hand side. Super ball from Hullet. As the ball was cut back across the face of the goal, it was a run from Hullet coming through the box that hit the upright, and Lentini rather fluffed the second chance.
Savicevic taking the corner. Donadoni. Round one, but not round two. Signori back helping out his defence. And finally away for Lazio. There's no one upfield for them. Time for Baresi. Here's Tassotti. Boban found by Baresi. Boban's cross. He's picked out Hullet. Couldn't quite provide the end product. And he's furious with himself. Here's that moment again,
yeah,
though,
here's that moment again, yeah. They did ever so well there, Savicevic. Hullet made a marvellous run there. Gets him the shot. Cannons back off the post. And this really should be in the back of the net. £12 million, and he's not actually hit the target. That ball actually squirmed way across the face of the goal.
We're now into the final minute of the first half. Chamot. Vinter. Lentini. Wide of him is Savicevic, who's threatening more and more now. Maybe trying to whip that one into the corner, maybe onto the head of Hullet, but he achieved neither.
I think the head of Hullet was his option there, Peter. But he's actually brought the game alive. A couple of nice pieces of skill. Yeah, I think he was looking for Hullet there.
Well, we're into the final minute of the first half. Let's get the thoughts of Don Howe looking back on the first 45 minutes. Don?
First half, I mean, chances at both ends. I mean, both front lines have really been outstanding, and the game really ought to be about 2 each. For Milan, they've been, in terms of attacking, the diagonal balls they've been hitting, especially from this right wing, Lentini's right side, across to the left, terrific balls. And the front play of Lazio, in terms of the movement, Signori and Boxic changing over, they've given Milan a stack of problems, they really have. And except for Maldini, and Maldini's been absolutely outstanding, they would be in front Lazio.
Thanks, Don. Into injury time. The touch off in by Boxic. And Tassotti to tidy up for Milan. Goal by Chamo on Savicevic. Milan in a hurry. Lentini, whose confidence will certainly be enhanced by his display so far. He's been looking pretty lively down this flank.
He could have done with that goal, I think, Peter. The goal would have been a marvellous fillip for him if he could have put that in the back of the net. But that's a bit more like him, a bit more direct. He got the ball there and he decided to have a go at somebody, and that's what we want to see. Obviously, Lentini was a great star with Torino. We actually want to see him do a lot more of it.
Savicevic with the free kick. There is Lentini! No.
That's been disallowed. The whistle went just as it was going in. The referee saying that he actually wants him to blow the whistle first. Wonderful delivery there from Savicevic.
Well, what frustration for Milan. It was a glorious flick by Lentini. We were just saying he needed a goal, and he thought he got one then. But the referee had not blown for the free kick to be taken. Well, the marking on Lentini was very sloppy by Lazio, but they haven't been punished. Maybe they will be here. No, good claim by Luca Marchigiani. Baresi underneath this one. We've now had 2.5 minutes of time added on. This is to Sotti. Clever play away from Boksic.
My word, that was wonderful football, Peter, wasn't it?
Lentini trying to ride the tackle from Winter, who may well be cautioned. Indeed, it is another yellow card. Now, this is much more like the Lentini we remember from his Torino days. He's never really made the impact at Milan. In fairness, he's had that long way back from injury. And when he's in full flow, there's no doubt he's a very dangerous player.
Yeah, he's good to watch, Peter, isn't he? Defenders don't like people that are going to do that, get at them and run at them and take them on. They don't like it. And Lentini, as you quite rightly say, is excellent at it when he does.
Chip by Boban. Off goes Signori. No, the half-time whistle blown by referee Pareto. And, well, amazingly, there have been no goals so far. We could have had a stack of them. Referee Pareto at the centre of that controversial moment when he said he had not blown for the free kick to be taken. Savicevic thought he had. Lentini headed it in. It didn't count. And the first half ends without a goal. Zeman's team, though, certainly showed, in particular early on, a lot of enterprise, a lot of adventure. And hopefully there will be some goals to reward these two teams in the second half. But at the halfway stage in the San Siro, it's Milan the champions 0, Lazio 0, and we'll be back after a short break.
Welcome back to the San Siro, 0-0 at half-time between Milan and Lazio, but certainly I think the most exciting half of goalless football I've ever witnessed. Anyway, with the teams on the break, let's have a look through the half-time scores around the rest of Serie A on this, the third day of this new season. And we start down in Bari, who are leading Reggiana 1-0 after a goal from Tovaglieri. Brescia-Inter is 0-0. Fiorentina, 3 goals there. They're 2-1 up against Cremonese. Carnasciali and Battistuta for Fiorentina. Cremonese getting their goal from Tentoni. Milan-Lazio 0-0. Parma 2-0 up against Cagliari. Dino Baggio and Fernando Cuta, the scorers there. Roma 1-0 up against Genoa. Balbo, the scorer for Roma. Sampdoria-Foggia, that game at Bologna, the last day of Sampdoria's disqualification from their home ground. Bertarelli, the scorer for them, 1-0. And Torino-Padova, 0-0 there. Well, tonight's match, of course, sees Juventus visiting the San Paolo Stadium down in Naples. They'll take on Napoli in what should be a steamy encounter indeed. And you can see that Tuesday night in our Mezzanotte program. That's around about midnight. Right now, time to announce the winner of our goal of last season competition, which you'll remember we ran last week. And the selection we made was number 6. Remember this, Paolo Di Canio for Napoli, his old club, against his new club he signed this week, Milan. Happy days is there, and a top-notch Alitalia Italia Tour holiday for two goes to this man, Trevor Thomas of Waterlooville. So congratulations to you. Now, if you're not Trevor Thomas, or indeed the person he's taking with him to a Serie A game, then rest assured you will have a chance to emulate Mr. Thomas's success in future weeks as we reintroduce our Goal of the Month competition. And indeed, an early chance for us now to take a look at some early contenders for that as we take a look back at the best of last Sunday's action.
Last Sunday was a vintage day for goals. In Sardinia, Cagliari played host to the champions in a match which provided two stunning strikes. A typically emphatic finish from Ruud Gullit, and a real Goal of the Month contender from Julio Deli Valdez. This effort would have featured in any great goals list, but the bar denied Napoli a goal and Cagliari a win. Elsewhere, Cremonese's Mathias Floriancic showed an advanced sense of geometry as he squeezed past Napoli's last line of defence. And Fiorentina covered all the angles as well, Gabriel Batistuta finishing off this incisive move. Among the big boys, Gianluca Vialli's textbook header finally put Juve on the way to an uncomfortable home win over Bari. Beppe Signori's double strike gave Lazio a share of top place. And Parma are up there as well, thanks to Faustino Aspriglia's brace at Padova. But our choice for the goal of the week came from Attilio Lombardo, a goal which meant Sampdoria joined Lazio and Parma at the top. We'll leave you with two goals which certainly won't be featuring among the best of the month. At Foggia, Marco Ballotta's career in the Brescia goal got off to a bad start. Things can only get better for him. And in the big evening game, a remarkably inept clearance from Inter's Gianluca Festa gave Roma the points. A contender for the own goal of the season. After the break, we're back at the San Siro and back into this week's action as we bring you the second half of Milan versus Lazio live.
Welcome back to the San Siro. The players just beginning to come out of the tunnel now for the second half. So very quickly a word with Don Howe. An exciting first half, even if there weren't any goals.
I think that's the most open game of football I've seen in Italy for a long, long time. And I just hope the second half's the same.
Perhaps with a few goals then.
Well, that's right. I mean, what should it be? 2-2 at half-time? I mean, we've seen Gullit at the crossbar, we've seen Albertini's free kick, Lentini's follow-up that he should have scored off. At the other end, and they're getting at Baresi, incidentally, Lazio. I mean, Baresi looks vulnerable today, but Boksic is getting in there, Signori's getting in there. Maldini's the only one who's kept them quiet. I mean, it's a super game.
OK, well, 45 minutes of the same coming up now as we hand back to our commentators, Peter Brackley and Ray Wilkins.
Thank you, James. It certainly was a very encouraging first 45 minutes from the two teams. Milan, the champions, hoping for yet another title this season. Lazio, who have aspirations themselves to win the coveted Scudetto. Albertini, who struck the bar with that venomous shot. And of course, Milan denied just before half-time by referee Pareto when they thought they'd scored, and he wanted the free kick taken again, which would have been, without question, a talking point. Savicevic may be still pursuing the point now. It was his free kick, of course.
I think quite right as well, Pete. I think referees do actually tell players that they want to blow the whistle first to get the game in order, and Savicevic took it, probably thinking a bit too quick for himself. He took it too early, and quite rightly the goal was disallowed.
Away we go then. And our request would certainly be more of the same, please, and a few goals on top. Here's Favali. Lazio defending the goal to our left. Tassotti. Swapping passes with Boban. Now Gullit. The cross hit by Lentini. It was Donadoni in there lurking. Away by Favali. Only his father as Tassotti. And now the flag is up in favour of Lazio. Who certainly need to improve on their away performances. They really have let themselves down on their travels, winning only 9 of their 34 away games in the last 2 seasons. In contrast, Milan have had 17 away successes. And of course, they don't lose too often at home either. Only 3 defeats for Milan in Serie A last season on their route to the championship. But they did have a problem scoring goals, only 36 in Serie A, the lowest by a championship winning team. Now there's an offside flag at the other end. Savicevic. Released and fouled by Chamot. Kick taken quickly. I wonder, was there a whistle that time?
I don't think there was. I don't think there was, Peter. No, but we don't often see that happen. Communication very poor down in the Milan defence with Baresi and Panucci.
There is Baresi now. Savicevic, delightful through ball. Here's Ruud Gullit. Is this the first goal? No, he hit it so tamely.
No confidence on his left side, Peter. What a wonderful through pass from Savicevic. The outside of the left foot, sending him sprinting clear. Didn't have the confidence to take it with his left foot.
Well, the vision of the Montenegrin was an absolute joy then. And he's done it again here, almost releasing Lentini. And what an opportunity, spurned by Ruud Gullit, who's still shaking his head in disgust at himself. And no wonder. Normally such a clinical finisher.
Yeah, it's not often you see the great man do that, Peter, is it? It was a pretty poor finish by his standards.
Here's Baresi now. Donadoni. Free kick to Milan. Well, we haven't had the goals of 2 seasons ago when Milan won that marvellous match by 5 goals to 3, but certainly there's been some sparkling entertainment. Plenty of ambition being produced by both sides.
Yes, I don't think we can complain this afternoon, Peter. Obviously, we'd love to see goals scored, but we've had enough action to satisfy us in the first half, and let's hope that we get much of the same in the second half. Started off very well, started off at a rare old pace again. Milan ended the first half in fine fettle, and it looks as if they've come out with a little bit of aggression amongst them. A bit too much there from Boban.
Ventura, the player who was impeded. Ventura, who played against his former club Torino last week and might have had a goal. He had a couple of really good chances, one in particular that he headed wide. But looks to be a good addition to the Lazio squad this season. Here's Signori then with the free kick. Down to Donadoni. Panucci with the throw. Cassotti. On for Lentini. Again, those Lazio defenders have squeezed up. And they've got the decision, but it's a dicey old game they're playing. And they were certainly caught out by that peach of a through ball by Savicevic, who had always looked such an outstanding player when he was with Red Star back in Belgrade. And now at last he's beginning to come through with Milan, as he underlined in the European Champions Cup final. Here's Boban. Gullit. Chamot had got with him. So Lazio throw. And Gullit just about managed to keep his emotions in check, but only just.
Yes, only just, Peter. Yeah, that wouldn't have gone down too well. That one is, I think he's lost his first life there.
No dissent is now tolerated, as Mr. Wilkins found to his cost earlier in the season. Boksic. Laid back nicely then for Signori. Past one tackle. Who comes sliding in? Baresi. Great anticipation.
Yeah, it's good tackle, Peter, wasn't it? Excellent play from Boksic, picking up Signori as he burst into the box. But the two defenders did well. They didn't commit themselves. I think Signori was looking for a penalty kick, actually, but the guys did well to stand up and leave him alone.
Here's Signori, whipping over the cross. Baresi may not be as quick as he used to be, but speed of thought counts for so much.
Speed of thought is the main thing when you're playing at this level, Peter, and there's none better than Baresi. He really does read the game exceptionally well. I must agree with Don. I hate to say it, but Franco did look a little bit vulnerable in the first half. He really is a great player, and that tackle there would have done him the world of good.
Baresi now 34 years old. And playing today his 450th game for Milan. Savicevic battling with Chamot and fighting illegally for that one.
They do that a lot, forward players, don't they? They start grappling with centre halves and giving free kicks away. They actually let them off the hook. Chamot still had a lot of work to do with the football, and he was let off the hook there by a forward just having a little tug at his shirt.
Di Matteo finds Boksic. No flags up, so nothing would have counted there. Rambaldi, the player who was caught. But he's looked pretty lively so far.
Yeah, that's a mile offside, Peter, isn't it? They do that very well, Baresi and Maldini at the back there. But he has looked lively. It's been a lively game. The guys have done very well.
Now, Donadoni, that pressing here. Hullet, hit it cleanly. And that was a fine piece of goalkeeping by Marchigiani. Good reaction save.
Wonderful football all round, Peter, wasn't it? A beautiful little ball there from Donadoni into Hullet's path. And he'll be thinking to himself, why didn't I do that with the first one I had when Savicevic put me through?
Marchigiani, who was, of course, the world's most expensive goalkeeper. That is now the mantle of Pagliuca, the Italian #1, after his move from Sampdoria to Inter. Donadoni. Laid off by Savicevic. Boban to roll it on again. Offside. And the linesmen have their work cut out today.
They certainly have. I don't think we've seen so many offsides in a game of Italian football. Normally the sides play so deep, so people can't run in the back of them, that we hardly get an offside decision, but we've had stacks today.
Venturin. Tassotti. Di Matteo. Intelligently back into the path of Aaron Winter. There's Boksic in the middle. Towering above him, Sebastiano Rossi. Pull it. Surrounded by those blue-shirted Lazio players. Archie forward. Baresi. With Maldini's challenge is Lentini now. Taking on Favali. Chamot, composed defending by him. Winter. Chamot again, caught though by the tackle of Albertini. Here's Boksic. Without working so hard to win it back again. Likewise, Lazio. It really has been a competitive game. Di Matteo now. And all the experience of Tassotti to the fore. Albertini. Right for Lentini to pursue. Marchigiani has come a long, long way out. Obviously confident he was going to get there first.
He's very bright, isn't he, Marchigiani? He's off that line like a flash. I think because they play so high in the field now, under their new coach, Marchigiani definitely tries to do that sweeper role. And he's done it to good effect this afternoon.
And he certainly has tightened up Lazio defensively. Since his arrival at the club, he's been an ever-present for the last 2 seasons. Savicevic, will he extend the goalkeeper here? Not this time.
First touch let him down, Peter. We talk about the first touch a hell of a lot in the Italian football, and that was rather poor play on Savicevic's part. An awful first touch. Was a fantastic pass from Boban. It was very unfortunate that he couldn't gather it and carry it towards goal.
Well, we apologise for the loss of pictures for the moment. We're doing our best to recover them for you.
Been a good little period from Milan though, Peter, hasn't it? They've really taken the game to Lazio in the second half, doing it extremely well. Their passing's been a lot neater and crisper.
Well, I can tell you at the moment as the ball is up the Lazio end, with Milan pressing. Now Hullet has the ball outside the penalty box. I think we've got pictures back now. And the save was made as Savicevic came flying through. Well, sorry about that momentary loss of the pictures. Hope it didn't spoil your enjoyment. No further goals. No goals at all, indeed. And it's Signori for Lazio. Di Matteo. Cavalli, rather Bonucci. And the free kick given to Milan. Rossi in no particular hurry. Always seems unruffled by any situation. Now Lazio are going to bring on Diego Fuser. Former Milan player, of course. So he'll be anxious to impress. Coming on for Venturin. Fuser, who was a regular in the Lazio side when he first joined them. Rather lost his way a little bit last season.
He scored a wonder goal here with the 5-3 game, Peter,
That's right.
didn't he? The right footer from about 25 yards. Let's hope he can reproduce some of that form.
Chemot. Laid off by Boksic to Rabaudi. And Signori just failing to connect.
I just feel Milan is starting to take a slight grip on the game, Peter. They do seem to be moving the ball around a lot neater.
Forward by Maldini, Savicevic now. Well, he's claiming, I think, a back pass, but I would have thought it came off him.
Yes,
Di Matteo.
I don't think you can claim too much there, Pete. It was just a bad bit of play on his behalf.
Off goes Boksic, now Fuser, Baresi in there quickly. Picked up by Negro. He's had a solid game at the back. Di Matteo, rather hopefully forward. On by Winter. Fuser. Whipping over the cross. Only partially cleared. Now there's time for Baresi. Savicevic. Now Fuser. Off goes Winter, covered though by Baresi's sliding challenge. Bacci. Boksic, now Signori. was onto it like a flash. But no more than that.
Yeah, it was excellent football, Peter, wasn't it? Boksic won the ball on the edge of the box there, and it sparked the run of Signori. Signori darting around the back of Tassotti, and just a little bit unfortunate not to keep it in. It seemed to put the kiss of death on Milan, so I thought they were getting a grip of the game, and they never got out of their half for 5 minutes. And it's been a good game. It's been seesawing from end to end. It's been good stuff.
One in the air by Hulic, Savicevic. Up forward then by Favali. Pass from Poducci, finding Donadoni. And now he's given it away to Rambaldi, Signori, Fuser, who look to tease Milan down this right side. Now that he's come on, Rambaldi turns straight back into Boban. Chamot was right on the shut tail of Hulic again. And then a foul on Signori by Albertini.
Yeah, Chamot's actually roughed Hulic up a few times, Peter, hasn't he? A couple of rascal challenges going in on him.
Rascal challenges, I like it. Fuser. Laid back by Rambaldi. Fuser again. This is Bacci. Looked like a little nudge then on Tassotti. Indeed, the referee has blown for the free kick. Taken by Baldini. Now Albertini finds Donadoni. Di Matteo. On by Vinter, Signori. Another flowing move by Lazio. Favali. He's pulled it back beyond Signori, who's now venting his anger on him.
Yes, he had a lot of time actually, Peter, to pick someone out there. He got himself into a great area of the field, and really that wasn't the sort of quality that we've come to expect from this game. Anyway, we've really had a game of first-class quality.
Off goes Fuser. Pull back towards Signori and Co. Well, how did Rossi keep that one out?
That has to be said. That is a world-class goalkeeping, that, Peter. As the cross comes in, he'll start to edge back across his goal, and he manages to get back and turn it away. That really was a first-class save, but great play from Fuser, who really has looked a little sharp since he's come on.
And again, the lightning reactions of Signori to test Rossi in that Milan goal. Lentini now. Dreadful clearance by him. He's only found Boksic. Back for Vinter. And at last Milan scrambled away with some very untidy defending by them. And from Lentini in particular. Donadoni.
Yes, there's that chance, a great ball in. What a great shot that is from Signori, and Rossi did exceptionally well to keep that in.
Fuser taking the throw. And already he has made his mark in this game. Di Matteo, Boksic. This is Rambaldi. And Fuser offside. Don Howe, how do you think the second half is shaping up now?
Well, Peter, it's still a fantastic game. I mean, both teams are both going at each other. Gulic's been in twice. Savicevic has been in twice. Both couldn't put the ball away. At the other end, I mean, that save by Rossi a minute ago was absolutely brilliant. Fuser got down this right side, pulled it back to Signori. He went in, he tried to tuck it away, and Rossi made a brilliant save.
Lentini going off, and Giovanni Stroppa coming on to replace him. Stroppa signed in the summer from Foggia. Of course, he had a spell too with Lazio. Coming on just before the halfway point in the second half. Lentini, who's gradually rediscovering his touch, but playing no further part in this game, with Stroppa having come on. Lazio playing themselves out of trouble. Then Signori losing it. Stroppa now, threaded on. Boban. Really smart save by the keeper. Boban suddenly found some room in that penalty box And Marcagiani equal to it.
It's a nice early pass though from Stropper, Peter. He's only been on the field 2 seconds, and straight away he's done his first thing well, and that's vitally important to get himself into the game.
And luckily for Marcagiani, no Milan player following up as it squirmed away from his body. Now here's Victor for Lazio. Family outside him. Rambaldi is onside. Everyone looked across to the linesman, and there was no flag. Rambaldi completely clear. He'd escaped the marking, and he couldn't convert what was a golden opportunity.
My word, what a chance. There's no way he's offside. He's made a great run, very well timed. Just has a little panic up at the end. He had a lot more time than he thought he had. And another good save from Rossi.
Well, he's rescued his team again there. There was a shrug of the shoulder from Baresi, I saw in the corner of the picture on the replay. Nothing he could do there. Rambaldi was clean through. Either that, or maybe he had a lot of confidence in Rossi.
Yeah, quite right.
Which would be fully justified.
Yeah, it's not half Peter. He really has had a good game, Rossi, hasn't he?
Di Matteo, Boksic. Di Matteo. Well, I know there have been a lot of eyebrows raised in Italy that Rossi has not featured in the national team at all, or in any of the squads, really. And he's underlined again today what an outstanding goalkeeper he is.
I don't think in all the years we've been doing the Italian football that we've actually seen Rossi have to make so many saves in one game. He really has been, well, he really has earned his wages this week.
Something you'll be hoping to do fairly soon.
I would like to think so, Peter, yes.
Right. Boban. Now Albertini. Goes Hullet. Out comes Marcagiani. That's twice in this half he's had to come peering out of his goal to retrieve a situation.
It was good for Lazio that he did as well. It was an excellent pass from Albertini. Lovely bit of disguise on the ball. And Hullet, I think, was free.
Here's Hullet now. Savicevic. Is he going to finish it here? Hullet. Well, the fact it was Stropper who came in. Hullet had pulled away to the back of the box. Stropper was on the end of the cross.
My goodness, I thought he was just going to blast it into that far side. He cuts it back across the goal, and Stropper unfortunately pushes it wide, and really was a marvellous opportunity for Milan.
And unbelievably, the game stays without a goal. Fuser. Up by Tassotti.
He likes to have a pop, doesn't he, Di Matteo? He's, I think that's about his third or fourth shot from a long distance this afternoon. He really has struck them very nicely.
Well, now Casaraghi is going to come on for Lazio. Pierluigi Casaraghi. So off to the first choice for the Italian national team. Not so now for Lazio.
Nice player to have come on as well, Peter. Gives you this another option now. Casaraghi is more like a British-style forward player. He's super in the air, and that could cause Milan a few problems.
Rambaldi is going to come off, and I gather that was an option being considered by Zeman for the start of the game, starting with Casaraghi and not Rambaldi. Donadoni. Maldini. Back by Tassotti. Albertini with the cross. And harmlessly into the arms of Marcagiani. Wasn't the best of throwouts by him, although it was superb anticipation by Jan Panucci here. And Bacci getting in the tackle.
Yeah, quite right, Peter. That was fantastic reading of the game from Panucci. He really is a bright lad, and he did exceptionally well there to anticipate that throw-out.
Savicevic with the corner. Tassotti. Donadoni just stayed onside. And bungled over there. It was a clumsy tackle by Bacci. This
is a difficult position for Lazio. And we've seen Savicevic put in some very good balls. I think Stropper's going to actually take this one, but Savicevic really has put in some very nice passes through the middle of the Lazio goal.
Stropper is indeed with the free kick. Once the referee is satisfied, Di Matteo is far enough away and comfortably plucked out of the air by Marchigiani.
Great distribution as well from Marchigiani there, Peter. Long throw.
On by Di Matteo. Casiraghi. Favalli trying to release Boksic. Favalli, who was called up for the last Italian game, the first of this season, didn't play though. Interestingly, Panucci got the left-back role ahead of him. Vinter. Faced by Tassotti and Stropper. Negro. On for Bacci. Bouzer. Donadoni for Milan. Savicevic. Going to be asking too much of Hullet, who looks not too pleased with the service. Bacci. Di Matteo. Most of Lazio's play is funneled through him. Out wide now then to Favalli. Di Matteo. On by Boban. Savicevic. Here's Donadoni. Bullet. Got the flick on too. Stropper's through pass. Flag was up. Good keeping anyway by Marchigiani.
I think that's been one of the highlights of the afternoon, actual fact, Peter. Both goalkeepers have had superb matches, and Marchigiani's reading of the game. I don't think this was, blimey, yes, it was just. Yes, and as I was saying, I think both goalkeepers have performed heroics this afternoon.
Off goes Panucci now. The run was from Boban. Di Matteo to Signori. Onside this time, Casiraghi. Bouzer. Boksic in the box. That took a deflection. Bacci. Into the path of Panucci. Savicevic. Well, he wriggled away from Negro, and the referee calls it back for the free kick, to the dismay of Savicevic.
Yes, that was extremely unfortunate, wasn't it? Savicevic did ever so well there to lose his marker, and I think it was Donadoni herring down the left-hand side of the field, and they would have been in a very advantageous position if he'd have been able to get him the ball. But unfortunately, Mr. Paresso called it back.
Paolo Maldini. Way by Panucci to Donadoni. Albertini. Foul on Stropper. "15 minutes left now. Baresi for the champions." I think Hullet struggling to see that one in the sunlight. Donadoni. Vinter on the break here then for Lazio. He's got Signori away to his left. Casiraghi in the middle. Maldini with the intervention. Good climb then by Tassotti. Favali. Di Matteo. Oh, that was clumsy. Very careless then by Di Matteo of all people. Savicevic. Ruud Gullit. Gullit strike. Back off Marcagiani. The danger hasn't passed yet. Stroppa with a cross. Beyond Gullit. Way by Bacci. Not very effectively though.
It was very bright play from Boban. He got the ball down and he was looking to play Savicevic in. As the ball sped past him, it reached Gullit, who in turn had a marvellous shot, well saved by Marcagiani.
Stroppa. This could be promising. Savicevic has pulled away to his right. Gullit's in the middle. Here is Gullit! And at last a goal. Ruud Gullit.
Yeah, the great man finally puts it in, and you can see the delight on his face as well. It was wonderful football from Stroppa, spinning it round the defender. Even Barazi's gone potty at that one. Spinning it round the defender, lovely little reverse pass. And as the ball come in, Marcagiani tries to read the cross. It just flicks off one of his defenders' heads. And there's Gullit with an open net, and the great man doesn't miss those. 1-0 to Milan.
Well, what relief for Fabio Capello's team. He's just telling them there to calm it all down now. The game isn't won yet by any means.
It's far from over, this one, Pete. There's been action at both ends of the field. Here it comes again. Marcagiani trying to read it, gets a little flick over his head, and there's Gullit to smash it in with his head. Super goal. What a great header. He did climb for that one.
The goal coming just under 15 minutes from the end. Celebrations from the Milan fans all around the stadium. They've had a lot of chances today, but so have Lazio, and you wouldn't write them off yet. Boksic now. Signori ahead of him. Casaraghi in the middle as well. Almost kicked back into the path of Signori. My word, Rossi did well to hold on there. Well, if there is any criticism of Boksic, is that he doesn't score enough goals. There's no doubt about his explosive finishing and his pace up front.
I think the lads in the middle weren't too happy with him, Peter. He's actually shooting there from, it was a very good response from Lazio. He's shooting from a very acute angle, and I think we could see there on the replay that Casiraghi had pulled off to the back post and was there all on his own. A little ball in, and it could have been curtains for Milan.
Signori was in there as well. So that will have to go down as an opportunity squandered by Lazio. Favali. Here is Boksic.
Good defending from Tassotti, getting nice and tight. I think once Boksic turns on you, you've got all the worries in the world on your shoulders because he's lightning fast, and Tassotti wasn't having any of it. He got nice and tight to him and made a good challenge.
There was Tassotti again. Maldini's little mistake. Favali. Now Di Matteo with the shot. Rossi again to the rescue. Signori! Time after time, Rossi has defied Lazio, and this man Signori in particular.
Hasn't had a wonderful game, mate. Good shot from Di Matteo, then Signori follows it up.
Here's the corner. To be some pushing in there. Penalised by the referee. Now Rossi. And his temper get the better of him. He's a very volatile character. He quickly composes himself now. Signori taking that corner kick very quickly. And Rossi was caught as he came out, I think. Well, that was some save.
No, it was a great save, wasn't it? That's a good save initially. Flying all over the place, and then he gets back to the other side. Here's the corner coming in. I think Boksic just ploughs into the back of Paolo Maldini actually on the floor, and then there's a little "how's your father" there. They'll all be friends after.
Victor with a header. Tassotti. And Lazio now heading for their first defeat of the season. Well, they are going to lose. They're not going to go down without a fight here in the last few minutes, quite obviously.
No, you have to be impressed with them. They really have given it the gun this afternoon, and for long periods of the game have taken the game to Milan. This young chap in the middle of the field's had a super game. Di Matteo prompting all the time.
Another man who caught the eye of Arrigo Sacchi last season, Di Matteo. Called up for one of the get-togethers. But for the moment, Zematt's team are trailing, and we're inside the final 10 minutes. Down by Boksic. Di Matteo's pass, and he's found Signori. Signori's a little chip in. Milan were hanging on again. Negro to Bacci. Signori. Going on. It's Fuser with the cross. Rossi stretching, and over the bar from Winter.
Oh, good football again there from Fuser. He really has looked lively since he's been on. And that was a lovely little cross. Trying to eliminate Rossi with the ball to the back post, but the big fella just gets a little touch to it. And Winter, I'm sure, will be the first to admit the heading isn't his main asset. Puts it over the top. But Milan have looked a little bit rugged on occasions at the back, and that's not the first time that they've been exposed.
Well, they've certainly been tottering at times. Don Howe, what are your thoughts now as we move into this final period here?
Well, Peter, I was hoping no scored in this game, or they both scored, because I don't think any team deserves to lose this game. It's been such a wonderful game of football. I mean, in a million chances. I mean, where I'm sitting, the crowd have actually got on their feet, just clapping Rossi, because he's playing so well in that Milan goal. I mean, it really is a wonderful game.
Off goes Stropper now for Milan. Another goal could well seal it for them. Savicevic. Savicevic going all the way through. And oh, what a pity, he couldn't finish that one off. Tantalising run by Savicevic, and it deserved much better reward.
That's nothing short of magnificent, Pedro, is it? His first touch was magnificent, and there he goes. Look, dancing through. I thought he was going to lay it in there for Hulit at one stage, and then oh, blimey O'Reilly, that was just just a fraction past the upright there. Great cross shot across the face of Marcogiani.
Di Matteo now. Manucci, here's Hulit. Certainly have a feeling that Lazio could get caught out again. Ushering players forward themselves. Will they get caught on the break? Not this time. Fuser. Casturaghi. Di Matteo linking with Favali. Winter's run. Patel though by Maldini. Boban. Here's Donadoni. What a marvellous servant he's been to Milan through the years, Donadoni, and he featured in more games in Serie A for Milan last season than any other player. Just past his 31st birthday, and still such a valuable member of the side. Now, Chamot for Lazio, who most certainly have not given up the chase. Favali. Winter making the run ahead of him. Spins away. Savicevic now. Chamot endeavouring to cover. On by Di Matteo to Winter. Signori is offside. Just. You've had a busy afternoon, sir.
I think they both have, haven't they? I think we mentioned it before that I don't think we've ever seen as many offsides in a game of Italian football before. Filippo Gali there warming up. Came into the side on Wednesday evening with the defeat against Ajax. Another wonderful servant to the club. Had numerous knee operations, but still manages to come back and perform, and a very valuable member of the squad. Great guy to have around.
Played so well at the European Cup final, of course, alongside Maldini, with both Baresi and Costa Curta missing.
It just goes to show the mentality of these guys as well, Peter, because he probably didn't start 5 games all season, and he comes into possibly the biggest game that the club have all season and performs magnificently.
Boksic on for Fuser, no, to Sati away, picked up by Donadoni. Bullet. Up by Stropper. Offside.
He's just making his run slightly too early, Stropper, and Hulit's not actually done done the job of turning round Jack and got the ball into play, and then Stropper's already in an offside position. He should be bending his run slightly more.
Di Matteo. Now, there's going to be a caution first, is it? No, it's the substitution now. Galli indeed coming on, and Savicevic going off, getting a rapturous reception from the Milan crowd. Well, some of his tricks, his running, his dribbling skills were so admirable. Milan in this last 5 minutes just looking to tighten things up, I would think, with Galli having come on. Going back to what Ray was saying, he's actually played in only 17 games in the last 3 seasons, mainly through his serious injuries and also, of course, the form of Baresi and Costa Curta.
Be interesting to see if they brought him on to pick up Kaziragi, actually, Peter.
On by Negro. Just one other piece of news reaching me. Dennis Bergkamp has been sent off or into this afternoon for elbowing an opponent, I'm told. Meantime, just a couple of minutes to go here. Signori with the corner. Winter. Signori again. Here goes Boksic. It was Maldini who headed it away. Di Matteo. Milan have everybody back now in their own half. Di Matteo on for Fuser. Winter. Di Matteo. Too close there to Albertini, and he sent Hullet herring away down that far side. Boban, who's made the run into the middle. Bit lucky then to find Donadoni.
It was a great run as well, Peter. He's a little bit upset, I think, with Hullet.
Bonucci's error. Now Signori, can he punish them here? Signori, Boksic!
It's a goal. Yep, it is a goal, Peter, yeah. Funny enough, I thought as the ball was played through, he was fractionally offside. But they do it a lot, Milan. They all push up together, and this time even Rossi couldn't save them.
Well, we've said so often what a dangerous game the offside trap can be, and it's been sprung now to great effect by Lazio. And, well, I think you have to say over the 90 minutes they deserve something from this game. Boksic with the goal. It's 1-1. And we're now in the final minute.
Yeah, there we see the jinking run from Signori. It's a fantastic run from Boksic. And it's a good finish as well. And Rossi even got his hand to that. It's very, very close, isn't it?
Can't really see from that when the ball was released.
No, that's right. But I think you're quite right, Peter. I don't think any side deserve to lose the game. And they've given us great entertainment of Lazio. And they deserve it. They really stuck at it and wanted to get back in the game. And good luck to them.
Goals in successive matches now from Alan Boksic, who managed only 4 in 21 games last season. He started the new one with 2 in 2. Crossed by Stropper. Hullet! Oh!
Isn't it lovely? What a wonderful game this is, isn't it, this football? That was a fantastic cross from Stropper. He really does have a very pleasant right foot, and his delivery was fantastic. And as the ball arrived on the far post, it was the great man again. I thought that initially he was going to head it, but he knows best. Just stuck it in on the volley.
The penalty box awareness of Ruud Hullet has restored Milan's lead right at the death. So often teams do prove to be vulnerable when they have just scored. That's the case again. Stropper's cross, Hullet at the far post, and he's just got his foot there first.
Oh, that's a very, very good finish, isn't it? He wanted to get there. It's a lovely ball in from Stropper, but Hullet wanted that ball in the net, and that's where it ends up. Really great goal. No finer sight in football seeing big Ruud Hullet putting the ball in the back of the net.
2 goals from him to cancel out the one from Boksic again. Drama right to the end here of what has been a very entertaining contest. We could have had a lot of goals earlier, Now we've had 3 towards the end, and it looks as if Milan are going to sneak the points after all. What disappointment for Lazio, who battle their way back, had their reward, and now it's been stolen away from them again. Baresi to thump it forward. Even Hullet won't chase that one down. The Milan fans want the final whistle. It's Negro. It's all over, and Milan have done it well. Marvellous game. Some really enterprising football from both teams. It was competitive throughout. And, well, all we needed really was a few goals. We got those in the end. And Milan, Ray, have taken the points.
Well, it has to be said, it was top draw stuff, Peter, wasn't it? We've been thoroughly entertained this afternoon by these teams, and it really has been a great game. And you can see the way the lads are with each other, how important they felt this game was. They had an awful display in the week when Ajax just ripped them to pieces, and they had to come back strong, and that's exactly what they've done, a super performance.
Ruud Hullet, the hero of Milan yet again. Back for the club this season after a very successful campaign with Sampdoria. Milan realised their mistake. They know they shouldn't have let him go. And now they have him back. And, well, that's been his response today. 3 goals from him already this season. And although people have been questioning Milan's start, the fact remains they still haven't lost in the league this season.
I think we have to give a big pat on the back to Lazio as well. And you can see that the possession of the ball is nigh on equal in the game, and it really was a good game, and Lazio played their part. They were absolutely super. They fought very hard to get back in the game, and they must feel very, very disappointed that they lost what for them defensively would have been a bad goal, the second goal.
Well, there were many, many chances throughout the game. Let's look back now over some of the highlights, starting with Albertini's shot against the post.
Yes, I thought he was going to put it into Maldini. Maldini was unmarked as he walked in, and then Albertini just strolls up and whacks this ball. It's on Marcogiani's side, but he still couldn't get there. It was a really wonderful, wonderful shot. There it is again. He really has drilled that one. No goalkeeper would have got anywhere near that.
Now here's Ruud Hullet knocking this pass through for Savicevic.
It's the running off the ball as well, Peter. The run was fantastic, and Hullet, remember, has passed the ball, and the next person we see bursting through the middle of the box is the man himself, and he gets his right foot to it. It's a slight deflection, I think, hits the crossbar, and Lentini really should have been sticking this away, but I don't think he'd be too chuffed with that one.
Well, the bar on the post had saved them earlier. This time it was the referee's whistle.
Yes, that's right. The referee telling Savicevic that he's got to blow his whistle to start the game. Really was a first-class piece of delivery. And there's that man, Lentini, desperate to get a goal. And my word, I think he really needs a goal as well to set his season off. And here we come and see the referee explaining that, yes, I am going to blow the whistle and restart the game first.
Ruud Hullet in the action again.
Yes, this was great football, beautiful pass from Boban, and this is a lovely little ball from Donadoni. Leaves it with the outside of his right foot in for Hullet as he breaks into the box. Hullet had a very similar chance a couple of moments before, and was loath to hit it with his left foot, but had a go that time, and it was a fine save by Marcogiani.
Well, Rossi had a marvellous game in goal for Milan. This one was the save from Signori.
Yeah, that was a great run from Fruza as well. He made the midfield players mind up. But as Signori comes in, it really is a fantastic volley, and how Rossi even managed to get down to it, I don't know. We see it once again. Gets everything over the top of it, Signori, and there's Rossi to make a marvellous save. It must be said he had a wonderful game. And this one from Rambaldi as well, the ball put through there, he breaks down the Milan offside trap, and there's the man again, Rossi. Great save.
And at last, the goal then for Milan. It was a little deflection there, and Hullet taking full advantage.
Yeah, I think looking back, Marcogiani might be a little bit disappointed that he came for that. There was enough defenders around, and there he is, the great man, a great header. He's absolutely delighted with it, isn't he?
And all about making the right selection, the right decision, and Marcogiani certainly will look back on that, I would think, and feel he shouldn't have come for that.
And this one was the one where Signori cuts it in for Boxic. A great run, and this is the run, look, right across the face of Maldini. It really is touch and go whether it's offside. But he's not bothered. He puts the ball in the back of the net. What he's got to do, I'm inclined to think it was offside. And Rossi even got his hand to that and ends up pushing it into the rigging. But Boxic wanted to know that he was offside, and the best thing for him to do is just put it in the back of the net, let the referees make the decisions.
So Lazio back then on level terms, but then right at the finish, the winning goal, and who else? Ruud Gullit from Stropper's ball here.
It's the quality, Peter, of the ball in. Look at the quality that Stropper puts on that ball. He takes the goalkeeper right out the game with that pass, and there's Gullit, who was desperate to get to that ball before Schmidt, and he put it in with a very, very nice finish on the volley, which rounded off what has to be said a super afternoon.
So there we are, victory for Milan over Lazio. Let's take a check now on the other scores this afternoon. Bari have beaten Reggiana by 1-0. Cavalieri on 20 minutes. Brescia 0, Inter 0. Dennis Bergkamp sent off there for Inter in the second half. Fiorentina 3, Cremonese 1. Parma have beaten Cagliari by 2-0. Roma 3, Genoa 0. 2 goals there for Balbo and 1 for Fonseca. Sampdoria 1, Foggia 1. Biatarelli and Ibaggio, and Torino have beaten Padova by 2-0. So at the top of the table, it's Parma leading the way there, 9 points, followed by Sampdoria, Roma, Fiorentina and Milan yet to be beaten. Lazio on 6, Juventus and Inter on 4 apiece. Well, that's it then from Ray Wilkins and myself, as I hand you back to James Richardson.
I feel a bit drained after that, Don. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Have we started?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you. What did you think?
I thought it was a wonderful game. I mean, you don't get games like that. That would grace any stadium in any part of the world. I mean, I couldn't see a goal coming. There was that many chances, and yet they just couldn't put them away, could they? And then all of a sudden, Stropper gets the ball. He gets down that right wing. A lovely ball to Savicevic. A nice cross, and Gullit's there to knock it in. I just thought Marchigiani was in the wrong position for the goalkeeper.
But at the same time, an extraordinary second goal by Gullit.
Well, yeah, well, here again, it was 1 each. And I thought, well, I think that's a fair reflection of the game. It deserves a draw in many ways. And then again, a lovely cross from Stropper, did the keeper, and Gullit, with his agility, gets his foot up and gets it in the net. A great goal by a great player. But I've got to say this, I'm very disappointed for Lazio, because they played their part in this game today. They deserve something out of that game.
Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us, Don. That's pretty much it from the San Siro. Later on tonight, of course, the final game for today will be Juventus down at the San Paolo in Naples against Napoli. Should be a steaming game, that one. You can see that on our Tuesday night programme, Mezzanotte. That should be around midnight on Tuesday. Then on Saturday morning, everyone up hopefully early for Gazzetta Football Italia. News, goals, interviews, reviews, and of course a preview of the big Sunday game, Football Italia. Probably that'll be Juventus against Sampdoria. Roberto Baggio, Mancini, Platt, the works. Should be a great game. But for now, goodbye from the San Siro. We leave you with the man who won the game for Milan, Ruud Gullit.
There's something fishy going on Channel 4. Something smelly, slimy, and scaly.
Europe means that many teams are entering soccer's 1996 European Championship for the first time. In Group 2, Macedonia opened the scoring in the 4th minute against Denmark through Mitko Stojkovski. With just 3 minutes remaining, however, Flemming Poulsen equalises, and the Danes, who don't automatically qualify as champions, salvage a point. In Group 4, Italy travelled to Slovenia. The World Cup finalists fall behind when Saso Udovic takes advantage of poor defending in the 13th minute. Within 2 minutes, Alessandro Costacurta levels the score. In their first competitive international, Slovenia have what appears to be a legitimate goal disallowed in the second half, and the Italians are fortunate to escape with a point from their opening fixture. In Group 1, Romania continue the form which took them to the quarter-finals in the USA. In Bucharest, Miodrag Belodedic gives them a 43rd minute lead against another nation trying to qualify for the first time, Azerbaijan. Captain Dan Petrescu makes it 2 15 minutes later. Two minutes from the end, Florin Raducioiu moves onto a pass from Ilie Dimitrescu to secure the victory.
In Group B of the Brazilian National Championship, Roberto Cavallo equalises for Vitória after Caio had given Sao Paulo the lead. Sao Paulo, who were recently beaten in the Copa Libertadores final, then fall behind as Riquelme scores. Caio's second of the match ends the draw for Sao Paulo. They drop to fourth in the group, led by Botafogo. In Group C, Santos opened the scoring against leaders Guarani at the Villa Belmiro through Paulinho Kobayashi. Santos win and move to within a point of their opponents. Santos coach Serginho is banned for 6 months after assaulting Guarani's director following a racist taunt.
In Week 2 of Spain's Primera División, Real Madrid continue their early season good form as Chilean Zamorano gives them the lead against Logroñés in the Bernabéu after 21 minutes. Zamorano adds a second for Los Blancos in the 48th minute after good work by Lassa. It's his 4th goal of the season and Real Madrid maintain their 100% record. Espanyol also won their opening fixture. They carry on in similar fashion against Real Valladolid when Raducioiu adds to his goal for Romania. Raducioiu then becomes the provider as Lardin makes it 2. Arteaga gets a 3rd and Lardin scores number 4 to push the Catalan team to the top of the league.
In Week 8 of France's Première Division, Lens look to extend their 5-match unbeaten run at Bordeaux. Joël T puts them on course in the 26th minute with his 5th goal of the season. Bordeaux's woes continue after 37 minutes as Pierre Lègre makes it 2. In the 86th minute, the Girondins pull a goal back through Tony Boncarel, but Lens win to move up to 5th. Nantes' draw at Martigues keeps them at the top.
In Japan's J-League, Verdy Kawasaki take the lead at Nagoya as Nobuhiro Takeda scores in the 36th minute. Nagoya Grampus come back strongly. Former England international Gary Lineker has this effort disallowed for offside. Lineker gets his reward in the second half, running onto a ball from Takafumi Ogura. After 63 minutes, Brazilian Bismarck scores the winner for Verdy. They stay in joint first place with Yokohama Marinos and Belmare Hiratsuka. We'll have more news later in the show.
Her maternal grandparents actually lived at Stithians, which is just up the road from here in Falmouth. So we had connections, and we had wanted to return to the West Country, really. And so when we were invited to come here, I really had no hesitation in accepting the post. My father at that time was working as he was manager of the local gasworks, and so we had a house right by the gasworks in Exmouth. And it was a very happy childhood, really. We were part of the local congregational church. My father was a deacon in the congregational church, and we would go there every every Sunday. Memories of the war are very slight, really. Though I do remember being on the beach at Exmouth, down near Orcombe Point, and seeing a plane come in very low, and we were able to wave to the pilot. And then we realised that it was a black cross on the side of the plane, not red, white and blue. My father eventually was called up. For a while he had, I suppose, probably been a reserved occupation, I'm not sure, to do with the gas company. But then he went into the army, and he was in Germany with tanks in Remy.